was like 11 in the morning, skipping school, that's a truancy about it. I made me some rest in the morning, I had me a pop by the morning, I had me some breaks by the morning, I had a six by the morning, I got on a meat on the morning, the rats keep me up on the podium, I had a in my shoulder, you got a bitch, you got this bitch with me, Pacific ice on my ocean, ready for war like I'm Russia, ladies should never the luggage, my diamonds they tussling, my neck and my belly on, they call it for me and they, you want me like me and I look, yeah, her Rex on her, yeah, B-Rex better calm down, yeah, if you go around, come around, yeah, whole squad, yeah, squad goes on me, yeah, make some orange gel on my toes, yeah, TIREKILLERZ for the chosen, yeah, you can go and get mad, jumping in the bed with the 2 dot team, and who's you, my shawty pulling up with a real bad, you too, dripping my swag, to do with that. I got the streets on my back, carry it like I'm moving the. I told him the hunter, like he trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning, skipping school, that's a truancy about it. I made me some rest in the morning, I had me a pop by the morning, I had me some breaks by the morning.
Thank you, Coach. We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. Tonight, it's the NFC's turn to take center stage as we've got a wild card matchup on tap between the Green Bay Packers and the Seattle Seahawks. Win or go home is the mantra, and off we go. We're underway in this NFC wild card game. Now the return. Here comes Randall Cobb. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. Caught left side by Cobb. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 16. On the ground, this is Rashad Penny. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a 1st down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Let's go get another one. Let's go get another one. Come on. 19.
On 2nd down, Wilson. And the grab made by Doug Baldwin. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. First catch of this wild card game for a 1,000-yard receiver in the regular season. He's got a 1st down, too. Two 1st downs have him up to the 41 now for 1st and 10. They run it with Carson. They'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now Wilson on 2nd down. Steps away to his left. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the 1st down.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the 1st down.
They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. Clay Matthews in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
We said it before the game, and I think it's still apparent. If these guys are going to advance in these playoffs, they're going to have to wreak some havoc coming off the edge.
Yeah, wild card round. They told us the wild card could be that defensive pressure. They showed it there. On 2nd down, here's Wilson. Leads it for Petty. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. A gain of 4 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and 13.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Here's Wilson. He finds his man, Baldwin. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. So 1st and goal, and an opportunity for our first points in this wild card game. Now it's Carson. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers putting their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action or stick something to him between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Only able to pick up 2, and that leads us to 3rd and goal. Through a couple of plays, this Green Bay defense is held strong. Now it's 3rd and goal. They'll try to run with Carson. No gain on the play that time, so a big stop, and it's going to leave them with a 4th and goal.
This offense bent the defense in their long drive downfield, but once they got within sight of the goal line, the defense went to don't break mode and is stiffened.
And Catanzaro's kick is right through, and the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trite expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Pushes him over. And he's across the 43 extra yards to the 43. 2nd down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now. Here's Rodgers. And this is going to be incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a first down. From up near the 40 now after the big play to start, here's another 1st and 10. Here's Carson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
14,
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Baldwin with it over the middle. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Same result as last play, 14 yards and another first down. Wilson going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's completed all 7 of his passes thus far. This is Carson. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 30. Six.
let's go.
To throw on 2nd down. Wilson. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They're going to run this with a tight end. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. They go play action here on 1st down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to take this one down to the 25. A sizable gain there of 9 yards, but it's still 3rd and long.
That was a good run, and it got to the 2nd level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle. And oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. It's caught right side. Dixon. And now past another. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. A great play there. Taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And the lead grows to 10-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
Rodgers will bring the Pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
18.
Throwing now is Rodgers. Flushed out right. And he will not throw it away. He goes out of bounds, well shy of the line of scrimmage, so that's a sack. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
That's fine. Yeah.
On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. He gets it over the middle to Cobb. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. 23 yards on the play.
Let's go, hey, let's go, come on. No. 319.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Pretty move. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. Breaks a tackle. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Yeah, Liz.
On 1st down, Rodgers forced out to his left. And this is caught at the 8. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. And now Rodgers not pleased with the setup. He's going to take a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. In the slot on the right is Graham. From the gun, it's Rodgers. Got a man open, it's Adams. Touchdown, Green Bay. Devontae Adams, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Packers have cut it back within a score. Extra point up and good by Crosby. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. On the return, the All-Pro 2 years ago, Tyler Lockett. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
It's a gain of a yard, and it takes us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back with more NFC playoff action after this.
Spread left, spread left. Got it.
Now Wilson to throw on second down. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Wilson and the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here.
Don't take forever, okay?
Here's Wilson. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. And now the Packers going to take another timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. He's going to field this at the 4. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Rodgers now on 1st down. Eluding the pressure right. Caught on the right side by Adams. And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line. He got 29 yards that time. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down is Rodgers. And this is caught. It's Jimmy Graham. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. Rodgers now 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10.
319.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Barkevious Mingo in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Working from the gun, Rodgers. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The linebacker, Bobby Wagner, able to get back in coverage and knock it free.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Rodgers from the gun, he'll throw. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. Oh, he may have gotten lucky. Tried to dump it off underneath on the check down. Nearly picked. Instead, it's incomplete. Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for Green Bay. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. That'll be a 41-yard punt, just 1 yard on the return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And you got to think, if this is anything other than just taking a knee, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, they've got enough to talk about at the half. Why do anything else? Just get out of there.
Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And he'll find some room to get this up to about the 14. So we come upon halftime here in this NFC wildcard matchup. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman. One of these two teams about to play their final half of the season as we're back at it in this NFC wildcard bout.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
They'll toss it out to Carson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14.
Well, that's the desired outcome coming out here in the second half of being able to run the football and establish a little bit of pace and maybe even a bit of dominance at the line of scrimmage. And they want that to continue. Way too early to think about this being ball control time. But the way they're running it, you got to think they may want to continue that and see if they can go ahead and grind their opponents into submission.
Right back to him on first down. And he's going to be met at about the 43. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Wilson looking to throw on second down. It's caught. Lockett. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A very solid gain of 27. From the red zone now, here's Wilson on first down. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Rashad Breeland, the one that got him down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Check 50, check 50. All right.
And the blitz does come. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Josh Jones. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Uses the spin. And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. The left side throw complete to Adams. And they worked this well upfield across the 45. He had their lone TD earlier. Now he's got a first down. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
And they'll run it here. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Two first downs have them up to the 41 now for 1st and 10. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Play action. Now it's Rodgers. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. Rodgers finding Adams for a Packer first.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Rodgers now hitting on 2/3 of his passes, 10 for 15 so far. 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And left side here, it's Graham. And down inside the 15 he goes. That's 30 yards now in the last 2 plays, back-to-back 15-yarders, and they're rolling. Into the red zone. It's Rodgers. Oh, it's a screen pass. It's complete. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. A good pickup there on first as a screen pass gets him 8.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. In the slot on the right is Graham. Rodgers to throw once more. And incomplete. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd and short. Well, pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. A great effort there. A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Packers are able to cash in for 6. Crosby connects on the extra point, and the lead is now 14-10. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Tyler Lockett now with a return. Now a hit and a loose football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Hurry up, hurry up.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Rodgers. It's caught here by Adams. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a first down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Rodgers now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Now Rodgers. Caught left side by Cobb. And he'll go down at the 28. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. In on the stop, Bradley McDougal.
That was an example of excellent defense there. They stuffed him. So now he brings up a third down situation. If I'm calling plays here, I make sure I put it in the hands of my quarterback and get it to a receiver real fast. I'm not running the ball here.
Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's Packer football here as they've got the lead as well to begin the fourth quarter. The Packers on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. On the sneak, Rodgers. And he'll be touched out here, but not before he does pick up the first. He'll wind up getting 2 there as he does it himself and picks up the first.
Come on. Let's go, come on. Go to 50. Hey, you block over here. Look at that!
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Escaping the pressure right. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on 2nd down. Rodgers now to throw on 2nd down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. The Packers on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Throwing is Rodgers. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a 1st down.
From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a 1-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll begin the drive with Carson. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. A wise move there, looked like nobody open, now 2nd down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Now Wilson. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
Well, that plays a statistic that's going to go on the defensive team stat sheet. Won't necessarily reflect in ours, right, the overall game sheet. But you and I know that they keep count on pressures, hits on quarterbacks, all those things, hoping to increase that throughout the game. And here we are in the 4th quarter, and they got a big one.
Yeah, it's such a close game, a very big one. He finds his man, Baldwin. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 18 yards there and a first down. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Wilson now off the bootleg. He'll buy some time right. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The intended target, Doug Baldwin. And it's 2nd down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Second and 10. It's Wilson again. And the tight end Dixon left side. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. He got 29 yards that time.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10.
36 power.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I was used to joke with my teammates who carried the ball a lot. When we got in these situations and they were carrying us home, I used to tell them, boy, you guys just look like Hulk.
And he will not be denied. Into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. A great play there. His second touchdown of the night. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up. And now a critical extra point attempt here. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And we are tied here in the fourth quarter. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this fourth quarter. Here comes Cobb. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the Pack up 1st and 10 at their own 23. Here's Rodgers. The connection made. It's Graham. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down.
319, jumbo!
Throwing now is Rodgers. And that's incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down.
319. Hey, check 26. Hey, check 26. Hey.
To throw, it's Rodgers. And this is going to be intercepted. It's the linebacker, Michael Kendricks. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. In a tie game, fourth quarter, that's about as big of a defensive play as you can possibly make.
And it didn't happen by accident. That was scouting right there. They've seen things that have happened before. They knew in certain situations the type of plays they like to run, read it, and were able to go after the football, get it, and take it into the end zone for a touchdown for themselves.
Extra point up and good by Catanzaro. And they will take a 7-point lead. Here comes Cobb. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And fresh off the pick 6, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It all comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this.
We are going.
Rodgers to throw on second down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. 2-minute drills, they're tough enough, pressure-packed enough, and these elements makes it significantly tougher.
And you don't have the margin where you can say, okay, I can allow for certain things and maybe change up a little bit. Because it's a 2-minute situation, you've got to try and make the same plays you would make if the elements didn't exist.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Back to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Figuring they're going for it on 4th down. Remember, though, they do have all 3 timeouts, so even if they don't get it, all is not lost.
Yeah, normally in this situation, when you're talking about having to go for it, everything is in this play. But as you noted, with those 3 timeouts, they actually have a little bit of a safety net.
Game on the line, season on the line. They're going for it here on 4th down. They'll look to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Brad McDougal. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. Agreed, that's twice now in this 4th quarter.
As a quarterback, a lot of times you think it's all on you to make plays when you're losing. And here, the play's not there, but he throws it anyway.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. Oh, look at that. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Packers pick it up. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. If you got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
Back to throw. Dancing to his left. He's going to let it fly. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect. There have been quite a few plays they might look back on and say, we really have hurt ourselves, and that was another example.
And this is late-game execution. Everything on the line, so it all has to come together properly. The throw's made. Where's the catch? Got to catch in that spot.
Line of scrimmage, the 31, as they line up 2nd and 10. He's back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd. So back-to-back incompletions, now 3rd and 10. And first things first, before you think about marching the ball down the field, you got to move the chains.
You're exactly right. Got to get back into focus here. Get the 1st down. That's what's vital to them.
The Packers on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 10.
We are going.
He'll look to throw. And Adams has it, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And they're able to convert on third with a solid gain of 23. Now it's Rodgers. They'll get this complete to the Notre Dame man, Equanimeous St. Brown. Touchdown, Packers! Equanimeous St. Brown in the final minute. And the Packers are within an extra point of tying this thing up. So getting the big touchdown they needed late in the fourth. Now what do? You conservative and just tie it up?
No, I think you put your practice into game situation. Go as fast as possible. You already have your play call ready to go. Go for two and decide it right now.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play. But if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. A throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
On second down, here's Penny. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Throwing now is Wilson. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, second down. Nearly an interception. If that one's picked off, it's over. So a new lease on life, so to speak.
A lot of times when you're in coverage, you're so focused on the man and the coverage that sometimes the ball, if it arrives, it surprises you. That may have happened to him in that situation.
Shotgun.
Here's Wilson. He hits Baldwin right side. And prior to this 3rd and 2 play, we're going to get a timeout called as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. The Seahawks on 3rd down. 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Wilson to throw. Trying to lay one up deep. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowl safety Cam Chancellor. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So after the INT, it's Rodgers. This is Cobb with a catch right side. So now with 6 seconds remaining, we get a timeout on the field. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
319! 319! 319!
Back to throw, Rodgers. Flush to his right. Now on the run, he'll throw it back deep over the middle. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Overtime in a playoff game, awesome setup. Remember, the rules the same as they would be in the regular season.
That's exactly right, Brandon. Remember, the receiving team, if they score a touchdown, game is over. But if they kick a field goal or don't score, the other team gets a chance to get the football. They get a possession. If they go down and score, they win the football game at that point. If both teams kick field goals, we keep playing. If a defense scores, let's say the receiving team gets the ball, doesn't score, or they throw a pick six or fumble, gets picked up, the defense scores, game over. But here's the best part. In the regular season, only one period is played. We could call it a tie. Here, we're going to play until we have a winner.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll start on the ground. It's Rashad Penny, and he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31. He wasn't able to really get anything going in regulation. Maybe it'll be a little different story here in overtime.
And it appears that with that call, they want to establish the run in overtime, try and set the tone for what they're going to get done. And you're right, maybe it didn't work so well in regulation. Overtime could be the charm. And by the way, yards count either way.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. And they'll run it here. And an alley to run. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
Really good, skillful, tough running throughout this contest. Picked up first down after first down. He's got to have a nickname, doesn't he? How about the human first down machine? I think that fits.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
First throw in overtime now for Wilson. Flushed out right. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a first down.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit, because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw, so maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
14.
Now a first throw here in overtime. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. From the gun, it's Wilson. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. And now third and very long. Are you cautious here?
I think you have to be, because the first mantra of any football game is don't lose it. Then you give yourself a chance to win it. And if you go ahead and force something now, take a big shot that doesn't pay off, you didn't help your defense out at all.
Yeah, especially here in overtime. Probably thinking they got to be careful not to force anything here in overtime. This is 3rd and a mile right now. Now it's Wilson. Forward with it over the middle. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 23 yards on the play. And you definitely could make the case we might not even be in overtime had he not thrown 3 interceptions in regulation. But looking better here so far in OT.
Yeah, and when you think about what a coach is thinking at that point, because normally you've thrown 3 picks during the game, you might craft your play card and be a little more careful. Not in this case. The green light is still on for him.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down, here's Wilson. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Kenny Clark in there to get him the 6th time they've sacked him tonight.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
It's caught right side, Dixon. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. So now Catanzaro comes on in a pressure spot. This to at least get him a lead here in overtime. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and that changes everything here in OT.
I tell you, it's not easy kicking field goals in the best of conditions. Yet in a downpour like we're in right now, it makes it that much harder. And sure enough, they can't convert here.
Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. First throw of overtime for Rodgers. And left side here, it's Graham. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. From midfield, here's Rodgers. Caught on the right side by Adams. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Didn't they tell us in our meetings that they needed to account for him on each and every play?
You think? A guy of his caliber? So how does a guy like him get that wide open?
That usually means there's a tire breakdown on what the coverage was. That everyone thought they were doing something, and they were supposed to be doing something else. But bottom line is, no matter what, you have to know where he is and cover him on every play.
Rodgers looking to throw on 3rd and 2. He's got his target. It's Cobb. And he's brought down, but following a pretty juke move that gives him the 1st down. Rodgers to Cobb. Good for a Green Bay 1st. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Rodgers now on 1st down. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. A good convergence there defensively. Only a yard, and it's 2nd down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Rodgers again now. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. The Packers on third down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This is 3rd and 9. And again, it's Rodgers. Now look out, Rodgers lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
So a big spot now for Crosby, but he's been here before. This will approach NFL record territory. It's a 62-yard attempt. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they head to the sidelines, we'll head to this break on EA Sports. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This will approach NFL record territory. It's a 62-yard attempt. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and that changes everything here in OT. Well, when you get that ball in OT, that's not the chance you envision, and the long field goal attempt here winds up lacking.
And you don't want to hang too much of this on your kicker, but he's going to leave you in a tough spot as well because you give your opponents excellent field position to start their first drive.
Now we've got whistles and movement up front. I think this is against Seattle. A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Wilson. And the tight end Dixon left side. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. In overtime, you have to be smarter than that.
A personal foul just can't happen. Have to have poise.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's going to score. It's a touchdown. No flags. And in an overtime thriller, they are moving on in the playoff.
No rest. They get to keep playing.
Getting into the playoffs is one thing. Now they get to move on. Just 8 teams left.
The dream stays alive. Everyone's gunning for the Super Bowl. That's the ultimate. But you have to get there in incremental steps. One win today gets them one step closer.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. It's a win for the Seahawks here as we say so long from Seattle.